Democrats are still trying to repair their brand. The problem is they brought out Hillary Clinton to do it. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. New theme song right here. Actually, that's an old theme song, but I put new visuals to it. Here's Hillary Clinton being divisive as she's trying to unite.
Right now in our country's history is coming, from the right, coming from people who want to dominate. They want their point of view. Writing out slavery from history, that doesn't make it go away.
So she says that it's time to talk to each other. It's time to unite. And then she goes after the right, saying we're trying to write slavery out of history. That's what a Democrat calls it when you don't just perseverate, just totally focus and ruminate on slavery 24/7 and blame yourself. By the way, the Democrat Party never blames itself. The Democrat Party was the party of slavery, and the Republicans are the ones that were abolitionists. So she still won't even get the history right. She talks about the modern day Republican that does not just get off on Black Lives Matter, that we're trying to rewrite slavery out of history.
We have got to stop with the finger pointing and the scapegoating.
Yeah. Okay. Right after we finger point and scapegoat, you guys have to stop finger pointing and scapegoating. No offense, Hillary, but finger pointing at you is my hobby. Now, this was a really cool news exchange here. This just blew up this morning. This was Marsha Blackburn, where they're talking about the shutdown. Okay, the government shutdown is coming. Democrats are going to try to market it as Trump's shutdown. We're going to live in the reality and the marketing of calling it the Democrat shutdown, because the Democrats want to make sure that illegal aliens can get full welfare and that we can give more money to NPR, add that to the budget before they'll sign it. But then suddenly they have to break this news segment because lo and behold, the Q2 jobs in Trump's economy are so great. Watch this.
Realize it's a clean CR. They need to do their job.
Hold on, Senator, because we've got breaking news on the economy, because all of this is connected. Let's get to Cheryl with the breaking data right now, hitting the tape.
Well, listen to second quarter GDP, Maria, a gain of 3.8%. This is much higher than the second read of the second quarter for GDP.
Now, they're going to talk about second read, third read, okay? They had a first read of the second quarter. What would that be? April, May, June. Okay. First read, numbers so-so. Second read, they were saying the numbers were better. And now we're on the third read of the second quarter, and the numbers are through the roof. This is why we do not believe the numbers coming out of the Fed or out of the budget office that are run by Democrats. They were always short shrifting Trump. And then reality catches up, and the numbers are much better. 3.8% GDP is fantastic.
Of 3.3%. It's now 3.8%. And this is the final read for the second quarter. A strong economy, consumer spending, strong. Yes, imports decreased, and that certainly affected the number. But again, a much better than expected. And this is
Hold on. Let's go to another news network. This is CNBC. This one was posted by the great Benny Johnson. Watch this. This is that Mark Chiarelli guy.
Now, on the GDP side, this is our third time around the block on Q2. And we see a really solid revision, 3.8%. I'm a bit shocked, to be honest. Usually the revisions, as you get to second and third, become smaller and smaller. So 3.8% would be the best quarter going back to, and we have to go back a ways here, to 4.4, and that was the third quarter of 23. Now, it is important to point out that if you look at the first quarter final, down 0.5%, there's a balance there, but the balance is moving in favor, and momentum is moving in favor for better growth.
That's Trump. The momentum is doing better. All the experts were wrong about tariffs. That's what this really is an argument about. Tariffs, the budget, and interest rates. So get ready for that. Now, here's more of the Democrats snowing you with Caitlin Collins over at CNN being called out by Kristi Noem. You'll see this is the argument by the Democrats this week trying to frame us as hostile and divisive.
I would love to see these Democrats denounce these criminals, these individuals that are out there trafficking drugs and trafficking our children, raping our girls and boys and selling them, and people that are out there committing criminal acts.
That's where we're at. Over illegals assaulting our women and children, the Democrats come out, they will not come out and condemn it. Why? Because they believe it'll give Trump some credibility on the ICE agents deporting them and busting them. So all for a win. Democrats, your Democrat pastor, we're going to get into Democrat pastors in a minute. Your Democrat pastor will not condemn these illegals abusing our children, taking them, in some cases, murdering them. There was a strangulation that happened. They won't come out. Caitlin Collins won't come out and report on it.
Robbing and murdering individuals. I haven't seen these Democrats do that, and they should. Gavin Newsom should. Tim Walz should. They should denounce these activities. Crockett. We should have all of them stand up and say enough is enough. American citizens deserve safety, and we're not going to stand behind any criminals and support them over our law enforcement officers.
But as the DHS secretary, would you say that Democrats are a domestic extremist organization? Yep.
Now, she's going to say yes or no.
Yes or no.
Now, that's not even what they're talking about. She goes, would you say that the Democrat Party is a domestic terror organization? We just now asked you if you would be willing to condemn child trafficking and murder. And she said, I wish, remember earlier where Hillary Clinton said, it's time for us to unify instead of dividing and trying to wipe out slavery from history. Can we all be unified that trafficking children and kidnapping children by illegal aliens is bad? She won't say that. Neither will Caitlin Collins. Instead, Caitlin Collins just ignored everything Kristi Noem said and just said, so would you say that the Democrat Party is a domestic terrorist organization? Totally off topic, proving Kristi Noem's point. She's going to call her out on it.
Views are extreme and they don't align with the American people at all. And I wish that our media and I wish reporters like you, Caitlin, would talk about the victims every day that we interact with, that we send you the stories on that you refuse to tell, about the poor little girl and baby that was strangled yesterday by an illegal criminal and died. That baby died overnight. That was the first news I got this morning when I got up at 4 a.m. Then the next news that I got was that the media had reported that a father had his child taken away from him when in all reality, this poor little autistic girl was abandoned by her father.
But CNN didn't report that, right? Right, Secretary Noem?
But you know what, Caitlin, just if you guys would just tell the truth about what these criminals are and what they've done in their history.
We tell the truth.
And make it about the victims.
We tell the truth. No, you don't. Did you guys hear that news about a kid being strangled by no. So you don't tell the truth. You hide the truth. You obfuscate the truth. Let's get to, this is a great tweet by Scott Adams. Democrat leaders are 100% to blame for recent violence against Republicans. This is Scott Adams, who's great, the creator of Dilbert, writer and artist for Dilbert. Fellow comic book artist, guys. The individuals who commit the violent acts have to take the legal consequences alone. That's those weirdo lone shooters. They're left alone to take the consequences, as that is our system and no other system would work. But none of them cooked up their opinions on their own, even if they were brainwashed by peers. The peers got it from the quote unquote news, like CNN and Caitlin Collins, and Democrat leaders. Complex actions don't happen without ideas, and ideas arrive in the form of words. Ideas have consequences. Newsom and Hillary and the other loathsome Democrat leaders created our dangerous situation with words, using Nazi, etc. And they're obviously aware of their actions. So far, the leadership of the right has not responded in kind. Those are our people, probably because of moral and ethical limits. Let's hope it stays that way. If we ever responded in kind and upped our rhetoric about Democrats, calling them murderous, calling them Nazis, etc., the Democrat Party is in full collapse. This is why I don't even have to really address them, because they're in collapse. They're going to die on the vine. They're dying of their own lack of structure. So I expect more violence as their last report. They're going to get more violent. The Democrats are, because they have no other tools left. Their speech doesn't work. We took away their platforms. Took it away in that we came in and started offering arguments on the other side, and their arguments fell flat as soon as it became an open market of ideas. Now, this guy, I don't even know how much time I want to spend on him. This is James Tallarico. The reason why I'm bringing him up, he's a Texas state representative, former middle school teacher, and Presbyterian seminarian running for U.S. Senate in Texas. And I want to warn all my Texan people, do not vote for this guy. I'm going to send money to whoever is James Tallarico's opponent. And I don't care if he's a Democrat Muslim. I'm going to send money to that opponent because this guy is evil. Why am I bringing this up? Because I'm a Presbyterian and this guy is a Presbyterian seminarian. And I want to show you guys that I even disagree with people of my own religion, because I'm not doing identity politics here. I'm not going, hey, if you're a Presbyterian, then we all support you. That's what the Democrats do. We don't do that. I'm calling this guy out as a member of my religion. I would support an atheist, a conservative atheist, over this liberal member of my religion.
I am in one of the reddest parts of Texas.
Yeah, you need to go down.
Because I am tired of being divided into teams.
Okay, that sounds like Hillary. I'm tired of the division, of the team division. Well, maybe tell your party to stop shooting us.
Red versus blue, left versus right, rural versus urban. Because the truth is, we're all on the same team.
Oh, no, I'm not on your team, buddy. And you are not on my team. I'll show you in a future tweet. This guy is lying right now. Tallarico for Texas. We're going to oppose him, find out who's running against him, fund them, and promote them. Make sure this guy, of course, Texas isn't going to fall for this. I actually think people of Texas are a little smarter than this guy.
Do you have an elderly parent or grandparent who needs care?
That's how we're all united, guys. He's trying to bring out the, hey, we all have old grandparents. Do you have an old grandparent? Yes, we do. And you know what? You're for euthanizing them, and I think it should be illegal. You're for weakening their Medicare, Medicaid, and health care by giving it to illegals. And I'm for strengthening it by clarifying it. See, don't try and give me this unifying, hey, we all have grandmas. Here's his real unity right here. Here's James Tallarico. I've been given 5 minutes to speak to my party. So I want to talk about hard truths. Here's Tallarico, the uniter. The Democrat Party is the only thing standing between this country and fascism. The Democrat Party is the only thing that stands between this country and fascism. Oh, we all have grandparents, guys. That's what he says on Unity. And then this is his other tweets, which are psychotic. Here's another one. Look. Here's his words about Charlie Kirk. I disagreed with Charlie Kirk on nearly every political issue, but he was a child of God. I disagreed with him on every political issue. Where's your unity with Charlie Kirk on limited government, on people being devout to God, on anti-abortion, on being against same-sex marriage? Oh, yeah, no. Tallarico, guys, is the most divisive Democrat there is. Wait, there's more. Here's a little CNN exchange. I always like these.
Look, this is extremely disturbing that there's another one of these types of shootings. I think we've got to deal with this as a country, first of all. But I also just...
And now, before you even tell us, I can't even let her finish that, because third ICE shooting in Texas, all Democrat. And now she's going, we have to do something about this violence. Go talk to your party.
For starters, I'm curious, how does it help to have the vice president say that?
Because the third one in Texas. I mean, if you know people that work in law enforcement, my family does. I know ICE agents in Texas. This is the third attack we've seen in Texas, in the same district as the man in charge today was saying. Like, this is the second time he's had to have a press conference today.
Who was killed today? Who was killed today?
So you're saying since it wasn't...
That's not what I'm at. No.
So you're saying since it wasn't... wasn't. It was innocent people that were killed today.
The Democrat is trying to obfuscate by saying who was killed today. That is because the shooter accidentally, we don't know accidentally or on purpose, but he was an anti-ICE shooter because that's what was written on the bullets. And he was a communist on his Facebook page. And he happened to shoot one of the illegals that they were detaining. So he's going, who was shot? Who was shot? Because it was an illegal. He's trying to say, therefore, it's not a left-winger.
It's my mouth.
No, you asked a question. I'm answering your question. You're saying since it wasn't ICE agents that were killed, therefore it's a null and void conversation?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. And that's gaslighting. I'm asking you a simple question because when J.D. Vance went up there, and when you're coming up here,
this is not a good argument from you.
First of all,
innocent people got shot today, and you're like, well, it wasn't ICE agents that got shot.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the division that you all are sowing in this country.
I'm not sowing anything. I'm saying protect all law enforcement.
Because of the simple fact, yes, protect
Gavin Newsom went on TV last night. Did you see what he said? He said,
first of all,
ICE agents are authoritarian. You don't think that can inspire someone to do that?
ICE agents should be able to come home every single night. And so don't put words in my mouth. I am acting like it. First and second, the fact that you and J.D. Vance and every other Republican can go on here
and talk about shooting people. But we're not shooting people. The left is shooting people, and they're being inspired by that.
That is the bottom line. The left are shooting people. The right are not shooting people. We never have, by the way.
I'm sorry. I have a friend that got shot and assassinated 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I'm a little bit hot on this one because you guys have been irresponsible with the rhetoric that is coming out from people on the left. Gavin Newsom went on TV last night. Hold on. Gavin Newsom went on TV last night and disparaged ICE agents, attacked ICE agents, said they're authoritarian.
But before you even get to the
evidence, the evidence? Watch what he said last night on late night television.
I'm not talking about that, Ben, because you come on here and you gaslight.
I'm not gaslighting. I don't want
innocent people to die. Sentence. Please, you come on here and you gaslight and you put words in my mouth, and that's not what I said.
You interrupted me and said you got
can you just let him? Ben, in the interest, in the interest of finishing this conversation,
what I want you to do is not only lift up those ICE agents. What I'm trying to get you to do is also lift up those people who were killed. Because when you do not lift up those people who were killed, as well as those law enforcement officers, you sow division in this country. And that's what I'm saying.
Let me say this.
Here's where I agree with Ben.
Let me say this. Look at the bullets that are on the ground.
Here's where I agree. Here's where I agree with Ben.
Get a pause on that and let other
here's where I agree with Ben. All right. When the goal clearly was to hurt ICE agents, it matters. And I think that applies not just to ICE, but to law enforcement across the country. We should be angrier when law enforcement are targeted in this country.
Thank you.
Period. Now, that is a separate issue from linking rhetoric to saying that's why this has happened. They're doing this.
It was written on the bullets.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean
you don't have to connect.
Anti-ICE is a brand. It's a brand that Gavin Newsom has repeated. It's a brand that Tim Walz has repeated. It's a brand that AOC has repeated, and it's a brand that Kamala Harris has repeated. She said they should abolish ICE. So their rhetoric, their words, and then they're waiting for some lunatic to act on it. Okay. And then the Democrat Party's abandon the lunatic and go, we had nothing to do with it. We didn't tell them to hate ICE. We didn't call them totalitarians. Yes, you did. This is about holding Democrats accountable to their words and them trying not to be accountable to their words. That's why I'm going into this whole strategy. This is my pal John Nolte over at Breitbart News. Brilliant guy, good buddy. He says in less than 1 month, Democrats have shot up a Catholic school, 2 dead, 21 injured. This is the left. Assassinated Charlie Kirk, blamed MAGA for the assassination, openly celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder, defended these mass celebrations. They shot up a local TV station, ABC, for not airing Jimmy Kimmel. They shot up a wedding while screaming Free Palestine. They shot people while targeting ICE agents for assassination. This is the 3rd time by leftists. The Democrat Party is a left-wing terrorist organization that puts fatwas out on us every hour of every day through their allies in the regime media. This is not a drill, and it is only going to get worse. They don't murder us because we're Nazis. They call us Nazis so they can murder us. Here's Boston from Wednesday. Boston mayor compares ICE agents to neo-Nazis. Has anyone on the left ever learned anything yet? Exhibit A, here's Hillary Rodham Clinton.
You know, the only other adversary of ours who's anywhere near as good as the Russians is China. So why should Russia have all the fun? And since Russia is clearly backing Republicans, why don't we ask China to back us?
I hereby tonight ask China.
That's right. And not only that, China, if you're listening, why don't you get Trump's tax returns? I'm sure our media would richly reward you.
China, if you're listening, Hillary Clinton is saying that our media will pay a bounty if you will go in and steal Trump's tax returns. That's how they talk all the way back to 2016. All the way back. They're allying with an American enemy, China. Going, let's team with China. If Trump's going to team with Russia, which is a lie, he did not team with Russia. We found out she's the one. These are the people that work with other countries. So, of course, this admission of guilt just fell right out of Hillary's mouth. She ought to be in prison for that alone. Do you agree? Send Hillary to prison for saying the Democrat Party should team with China and collect a bounty from American media to get Trump's tax returns. She's colluding, admitting her collusion with media with MSNBC. I'm Doug in Exile. Subscribe.